welcome to my sewing room. We have some of the most beautiful projects and fabulous techniques to share with you today. My friend Marie Stevens from Janome, America has made some wonderful projects. This pretty wall hanging done out of red work, all done by machine, of course. One of my very favorite pictures is this one right here. Absolutely beautifully done. Machine embroidery, ribbons, damask, gold thread, just all kinds of fabulous things, all rolled into one beautiful wall hanging. Marie does elegant, elegant linens, and this is one of the most beautiful table runners. This is for Christmas. It has beautiful white and gold. So very, very elegant. With machine stitches, here's a wreath, and we're coming all the way down to see the beautiful Christmas bells done in stark white, the wonderful Victorian embroideries, and the beautiful silver and white embroidery. One of my favorite techniques of all is shark's teeth, and Marie has done the most fabulous blouse with beautiful stark white Australian wildflowers done and machine embroidery down the front, and then the wonderful shark's teeth just completely edged and touched with a beautiful French lace insertion, also in white. Marie has twin grandsons, and let me share with you what she made. Two of, I might tell you, for her twin grandsons. This beautiful christening dress out of the beautiful Nalona. It has machine smocking on both sides and the most fabulous blue tatted machine-made crosses that go down the front. Now I'm going to lift this up to show you something very special on the bottom of this christening dress. We have this young man's name, Daniel Joseph Mirth. His birthday and his baptismal date are both machine embroidered, and Marie has pleated the lace on the bottom. Marie said she thought that the pleated lace was more masculine than gathered lace. I thought it was fabulous. And then this is another beautiful dress that Marie has made to share with you with wonderful machine embroidery, more machine smocking. And do you see these wonderful puffed chevrons here? Marie is going to share with you how she made those. The machine embroidery, the puffed chevrons, the machine embroidery, all kinds of beautiful techniques. Now won't you come along with me to the technique boards? For this chevron lace shaping, it starts as if you're making a straight fancy band, because that's exactly what you are making. I've used the lace insertion and beading and insertion, entredot, puffing using my gathering foot on the sewing machine, and then I've attached all of these together, butting the two pieces of lace together and zigzagging them, and using the techniques for entredot to gathered fabric, entredot to lace, and this is all attached in one piece. Now, if I'm going to make a number of chevrons, I will go ahead and make a long strip of this fancy band. I will fold it in half, right sides to right sides. Now, here is my template. Pretend like this is a strip of fancy band. I folded it right sides to right sides. Now, I put my pattern on my fancy band, and I slice diagonally, 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 and you can see if I have folded this together right sides to right sides, I will have a right side and a left side for my chevron puffing. Next, you get a right side and a left side. Simply turn them over and zigzag them or serge them together. Now, to share with you her technique of chevron lace shaping or chevron puffing, or both, as you have just seen, I have invited my friend Marie Stevens. Marie is an educational coordinator from Janome of America. Marie, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure, Martha.
Thank you so much.
Really a pleasure. Thank you.
And what are you going to share with us
I'm going
today?
to share with you the chevrons that I did on the christening gown. I'm a quilter and I'm an heirloom sewist, and I like to combine both of them. So what I did, I made a fancy band, and as Martha showed you on the board, I sliced them apart on a 60-degree angle. I then turned them over like this and put right sides together. I make sure I match up my laces, my entredot, and I like to sew with a 1/4-inch seam.
You're a true quilter, aren't you?
I am a true quilter, and I make sure as I'm going along that all my little roll and whips are all in place. And I just start to sew my 1/4 inch seam all the way through. Again, make sure my little laces are matching here.
Laces are so forgiving, aren't they,
Oh,
Marie?
they are. You just
Kind
pull
of
them.
push and pull,
You
yeah.
push and pull. Yes. Lock it up at the end. Bring it up. And then I turn it over. And here's my lovely little chevron. What I'm going to do next is just trim it down to 1/8 of an inch and then do a roll and whip stitch. So I'll take my scissors and I will trim it down. Better on putting it on the board. I'll cut my laces if I don't.
That is so pretty on the front of that christening dress. Did you
It's-
make your
it's
little
very nice.
chevrons
It's very
and then
nice.
just zigzag them to the dress?
Just zigzag them to
Is
the
that
dress.
Oh, that's so
That's
easy.
all I do, and then zigzag them right onto my strip, and then I use the open part to do embroidery.
Well, Marie, that dress was absolutely magnificent, and I love the fact that you have combined quilting skills
I like
as
to.
well as heirloom sewing skills.
I like to do that.
And next, Marie has something very special in our sewing for the baby category. I wanted to share with you a little bit closer look at this beautiful christening dress that Marie made, especially the chevron, which, Marie, this is so pretty. The quilted sort of chevron with the puffing in the middle, and then the beautiful placement of the machine embroidery. And Marie, I just love the way you've used the elegance of white on white. Now I'm going to turn it over to you and let you show us how you did that.
All right. I have a gathering strip on here. I have my gathering foot on the machine. I've chosen a straight stitch, and I'm going to lengthen my stitch to about 4.0. I'm going to start stitching, and I'm going to hold my finger in the back of my strip. I'm going to get nice tight little gathers, and I use my thumb to just sort of draw it up. I stop once in a while so it doesn't build up on me, and I keep gathering down the strip. I like to use about 1/2 inch so that my foot will not waver off the edge, and then I can always trim that down to 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch. And we just go on pushing right through here. I'm not helping the machine take it through. I'm letting the machine do the job. I'm just helping the machine take it through. So we can take this off here now. Take my needle out and show you the nice gathering. I'm not going to go down the whole strip. It's a large strip. And so we'll do the same on the other side. About 1/2 inch, come down and hold my finger in the back and just let my thumb straighten my fabric as I'm sewing down.
I like the way you're holding it just a little bit. Marie,
I
now
like
tell
to
me about the
hold it
finger in
just
the
a
back.
little bit.
Does that just help it from going haywire?
It helps it to give a little tighter gather.
Okay.
So if you
okay.
don't put your finger in the back, it gives a little looser gather depending on what you want.
Okay.
And then of course you can also tighten your tension if you want to, but I don't like to do that. I like to leave the tension where it is and take my gathers just from my gathering foot. Let the machine do the work. I don't want to do any of the work.
I agree with that completely. Show us your beautiful finished strip over
All
there, Marie.
right. This is a finished strip. As you can see, I did not want to have this too awfully tight, so I would loosen my finger every once in a while from the back. If I wanted it tighter, obviously I would have kept my finger back there. So
Now, I like this placement. That's something that's very important
Yes.
when you're doing the wonderful machine embroidery, is to have it put in the correct place.
That's right.
And this
When I put
placement
my
equipment makes it very easy. I
Very.
have understood completely.
When I put my chevrons on my christening gown, I had a little space of about 5 inches to fill, so I wanted to fill that with white on white. So I made a little template of the design that I chose. I will put the design on my fabric, and I take it to my handy little cloth setter here, and I line it up, put it in the hoop the fabric, take it to my machine, and let my machine do the work. and that's all there is to it. It's very, very easy.
You know, Marie, easy. Sewing made easy is our
Absolutely.
theme, and all of these wonderful techniques that help
Absolutely.
make sewing easy. Sometimes people don't believe me that sewing is easy, but you
Very
and I know
easy.
it is.
And especially heirloom sewing is wonderfully easy.
I know. Marie,
Yes.
thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Martha.
joining us today.
Thank you.
And now we have a wonderful segment for you called Sewing for Jack and Jill. Today's dress obviously is for Jill, not Jack. It is a magnificent dress. Silk du peony is one of my favorite fabrics for children's dress-up clothes. This is a beautiful piece of English edging just simply stitched on. These pretty little machine embroidered epaulettes, there are 3 of them that go over the shoulder. But what I really want to share with you today on this magnificent dress for Jack, and not for Jack, but for Jill, is the work that we've done with machine embroidery on the skirt. You can see there is a machine embroidered, a peach on peach, since the dress is peach silk du peony, a peach embroidered design that goes all the way around the skirt. Now the skirt is, kind of call this dental molding. It looks a little like dental molding to go on your walls. So I'm going to show you that the behind here is simply a facing. This part comes along on the dental molding. That's kind of a funny name, but that's what we're calling it. It is simply a facing, and the machine embroidery is done on one side. Now then, the dental molding facing, how do you do that and get the machine embroidery all lined up too? Well, I'm going to share with you the easy way to do it. First of all, you need to trace on your stitching lines all the way across the skirt. Now this is on the wrong side of the skirt. When I come in to do my machine embroidery, and by the way, I do the machine embroidery before I do any more stitching. When I come in to do the machine embroidery, unless your line will go all the way through your fabric, which probably it won't when you draw it on, you're going to need to just machine base through one layer only, just the top layer of the skirt, these different lines, and then you're going to place your machine embroidery, draw it on there, whatever you're going to do, place it on there and do your machine embroidery. After the whole skirt is embroidered, then you will place right sides to right sides, and it is now time to stitch through both layers, the skirt and the facing. Next step will be, after you stitch, to come in here and trim away. Be sure you go all the way up into the point, but don't cut it. And trim your little corners, square them off, so you'll trim away all the fabric. Then you will turn it right side out and press, and you know what I always like to do, and I bet everybody does this too, take your little stick or your point turner. I have a little shish kebab stick here. After you press it, come in and press out those points. Get them really, really nice, and then press it. And of course, you will have your machine embroidery on here also. And that is all there is to making one of those wonderful dental molding or machine epaulette skirts. All right, now then, I have a section for you called Sew Kool for Kids. For our Sew Kool for Kids segment, I'm so happy to have as my guest today my daughter, Joanna Pullen Hammett. Joanna, welcome to the show, and what is that wonderful thing you have on your head?
Don't you just love it?
I do. It's very
just
stylish.
A fun bandana that kids can make on their own with maybe just a little help from mom or grandmom. And I'll go ahead and take it off, and let me show you what it looks like. Just a denim bandana with a double fold bias tape around the edge.
Just a purchase bias tape.
That's right, just a purchase double fold bias tape. And all you do is you cut your bandana triangle. Next, you're going to pin the double fold bias tape all the way around the bandana cloth.
Leaving a tail on both ends.
That's right, leaving a tail on both ends
you got it tied
for
on.
your tie. And all you do is simply straight stitch. Of course, taking your pins out as you go.
You know, Joanna, as you're sewing that, as I looked at that wonderful denim and red, that's such a happy, I can think that this would be a great project to do some machine embroidery.
Oh, it would be a great
It's so
project.
easy to construct. And you know, the kids that we've seen and that we've had at our school adore machine embroidery.
That's right.
So it'd be a great, they could put their names or put a cute little, whatever they like to embroider.
So really this could just be for all ages.
Well, all ages of kids. And you know
All
what? I
ages.
keep thinking that the 6 and the 7 and the 8-year-olds would like it as well as the teenagers. And since we're down here at the University of Alabama filming this show, I also have seen the college girls wearing
That's right,
bandanas. So this is kind of a universal project. You know, Joanna, a lot of people do sewing projects with Girl Scout troops and with 4-H troops. And I think this would be great because I think the kids would really enjoy making these for their friends.
They would. This would be a great birthday present, and you know how expensive birthday presents can get.
And you know, this is really stylish and really fun. So
It
I
is.
believe this one is a project for all seasons, almost for all ages.
It
But you know
really-
what? I don't think I'm going to wear one.
I don't know if I will either.
Well-
but they're really cute. But anyway.
Well, this is what the kids in the college, we're not kids in college
That's right.
kids, are we?
But as you can see, I've just been straight stitching around, and you just keep on going all the way around till the end, and then after you have straight stitched, you've got a great bandana for your head.
Joanna, thank you so much for
Thank
being here
you.
today. You know, in our industry, we have some of the most exciting notions that are being developed. As a matter of fact, when I go to the consumer shows all over the country and really all over the world, because I've also gone to consumer shows in Australia and England, people are so excited about the notions that make sewing so easy and so much fun. So now I'd like to share with you a clever notion from a consumer show in Arlington, Texas.
This is the new Ultra Twist thread. This comes in 30 different colors, and basically what it is 2 of our regular colors have been put together and twisted to form a 35 weight thread. Because it's a 35 weight thread, you can use it with your embroidery machines, you can use it to do freeform, you can use it with your decorative stitches. What will happen is the Ultra Twists gives you a depth of feel that you can't get with a solid color thread. If you look here at the lion's mane, you can see how you're getting all this texture. It's great for any flora and fauna. I love it for hair and fur and for trees and leaves, barks, woods, anything like that that you need a texture to. You'll notice that we have on old bugs here, the gray part was done with the twist. And here we've got a little alligator that has been done partly with the twist and then one of the coordinating colors. You may notice that all of the twists are just developed from 2 of our regular color threads. Each of the twists have been made up of 2 of the regular colors, and therefore they blend beautifully when you sew them because they have that particular color in them. And that's how the alligator was done, with the solid color and then with the twist that had that particular solid color in there.
On a recent trip to London, I had the privilege of visiting Kensington Palace. Some of the vignettes which showed beautiful ladies getting dressed for balls and the beautiful clothing they wore had their dressers, and they had wonderful boxes, which this kind of reminds me of the beauty and the elegance of the Victorian era. This is, believe it or not, this beautiful box is a cover for bath powder. So pretty, so easy to make. It has ribbon which runs around the side, little loops for the ribbon to put lipsticks. And you know, sometimes I have several lipsticks I don't wear a lot, so it's kind of nice just to have them where I can grab them as I'm getting dressed. This pretty little ribbon that's been gathered in the center with a tiny little rosette. Now this is very easy to make. So, the first thing I'm going to share with you how to do is to make that wonderful ribbon rosette for the top. I have run by hand with just a needle and a double thread a line of stitching all along the side of this ribbon. After I have stitched it, I'm going to simply come in, pull the little line of hand gathering. I guess you could do a long machine gather, but hand gathering is probably easier on something this short. Just gather it up, turn it, get ready to put it on the top of the box. Let me pull my little gathers, and then when it's all finished, I will put this little rosette, just simply glue the little rosette on the top. That's how we finish the top of the box. Now, I'm going to make a covering, which is about the height. You see, I'll use my powder box to measure. The covering starts at the very bottom and comes all the way up enough for me to gather it tightly around the top. The first thing I'm going to do, okay, let me go ahead and take this top off the powder box. First thing I'm going to do is to come in and glue my little taffeta file, the case on it. I have left the little loops for my lipstick to go in. I'm going to glue this all the way around. I don't have real glue here. I just have a little bit of KK2000 on it, so it's not going to really hold. I use a permanent glue to glue this. I'm going to glue it down permanently. And then after the glue is dry, I have 2 rows of gathering threads running the top. So I will pull the 2 rows of gathering threads and gather the top up. That is, if I can find the 2 rows of gathering threads, and I think I just found them. I'll pull the top up like this, gather it all the way around. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you one thing to do. This is a good idea to give it a little bit of pad. I'm going to put a little temporary spray adhesive on a little bit of quilt batting and put that on the top, and that gives it a nice little bounce. So when I gather it up, it has a little puffy top. Then I will go ahead and put the ribbon that I just made on the top, glue it all together on the top, glue my little ribbon here and stick my lipsticks in, and that is a wonderful gift for yourself or for somebody that you love very much, and I think that would be a great Mother's Day present. And now won't you come along with me to my attic? I bought this beautiful dress at the Paris flea market. It has so many details. There is piping at the neckline. To finish the neckline, a little bit of gathered edging. Then there are beautiful Swiss trims on this collar with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tucks on the inside, 3 tucks on the outside. Isn't that a pretty collar? By the way, the trim is Swiss and it is elegant. The front of the dress features more of the diagonal and the chevron work on the front, and then the bottom has 3 rows of gathered Swiss edging. Absolutely beautiful. As you know, many times these Victorian clothes are just as pretty on the back as they are on the front, and I really just had to share with you that the same treatment goes all the way around this dress. That same pretty on, it's just as pretty on the back as it is on the front. I have a really nice letter for you today from Gail Sherrod. Martha, a few letters ago I saw an appeal for you for projects from Sewing for the Heart. I have one I'd like to share. Before Christmas in 1999, the store Embroidery Collections in Winter Park, Florida, offered its customers the opportunity to participate in a drive to provide dolls for children who would probably not have a Christmas present. A member of the staff, Leah Collins, visited many local elementary schools speaking with the guidance counselors, who then went to the teachers to determine the neediest of these children. A doll was provided to each staff member or customer of the fabric collection, who then made or bought, if time for creating became a problem, 3 outfits for the doll. It was then returned to the store for delivery to the teacher to give to the child's parent for the gift to be made on Christmas morning. As one who participated in the delivery to the teachers, I saw the joy on her face, knowing her needy student would not be returning after New Year's Day with no gift to report, as all of the others were discussing new toys. In one particular case, a very withdrawn young girl being cared for in a group home of 20 began speaking not only to her doll, but to the other students and teacher after receiving this wonderful Christmas gift. As one who has always looked forward to and received a Christmas doll, I cannot imagine the emptiness of a Christmas watching other girls snuggling and cuddling their new treasures. I felt it was a privilege to participate in the effort, and since the store will be repeating this next year, I plan to recommend to our newly formed American Sewing Guild Winter Park chapter that we all dress at least one doll. With any luck, no little one in our area will wake up to a disappointment on Christmas morning, the day that should bring the hope and joy of a new baby to everyone. Thanks for listening. May God bless you and yours, Gail Sherrod. Well, Gail, this is one of the sweetest letters I've ever received from our Sewing from the Heart, and such an exciting project that you ladies in Florida are doing to provide Christmas gifts for those less fortunate. Thank you so much for coming to my sewing room today. I am so happy that you came, and we've just had a good time, and I hope you have too. I would especially like to invite you to join me next time.